Picture this, you're lying in bed at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling for the third time tonight because your bladder is screaming at you again. You drag yourself to the bathroom, stand there for what feels like forever, and barely anything comes out. Sound familiar? What if I told you that a tiny berry sitting in your grocery store right now could end this nightmare in just 30 days? I am about to share the results of my month-long experiment that absolutely shocked my doctor, and it might be the most important 12 minutes you spend today. Some of these discoveries will surprise you, others might make you uncomfortable, but all of them could transform your life. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use this purple powerhouse to reclaim your nights, your confidence, and your peace of mind. Here's the terrifying reality most men refuse to face. By age 50, your prostate is silently sabotaging your life. We read talking about 50% of men, that's 1 out of every 2 guys walking around right now by 70. A devastating 90% will be battling this walnut-sized gland that's slowly strangling their quality of life. But here's what absolutely shocked me during my research, and this might make you uncomfortable. That normal aging excuse doctors love to throw around, it's destroying your future self. Every night you wake up multiple times, every hesitant trip to a public restroom, every moment of anxiety about whether you can make it through a meeting without interruption, that's not normal. That's your prostate crying for help. Think of your prostate like a security guard that's gone rogue. Instead of protecting your urinary system, it's become the neighborhood bully, squeezing your urethra like a garden hose being stepped on. This tiny gland, no bigger than a walnut, is essentially holding your entire lower urinary tract hostage. And here's the part that will shock you: most men wait until the damage becomes irreversible before they take action. The medical term for what's happening is called benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. Benign sounds harmless, doesn't it? Don't be fooled. There is nothing benign about waking up exhausted every single day, nothing harmless about the anxiety that builds every time you away from a bathroom, and absolutely nothing gentle about watching your intimate relationships suffer because of something happening deep inside your pelvis. But what triggered my 30-day experiment wasn't just the research, it was my own wake-up call. During my annual checkup, my doctor casually mentioned that my PSA levels were creeping up into the higher end of normal. Those words hit me like a freight train. Higher end of normal. That's medical speak for we're watching you slide toward a cliff, but we're not worried yet. That's when I discovered something that might sound too simple to be true: blueberries. Not just any blueberries, but these tiny purple warriors contain a compound called anthocyanins that literally hunt down inflammation in your prostate tissue like guided missiles targeting enemy cells. Here's what most people don't understand about prostate problems: it's not really about size, it's about inflammation. Picture your prostate tissue like a sponge that's been soaked in irritating chemicals. Every day, inflammatory molecules called cytokines are essentially setting tiny fires throughout your prostate, those anthocyanins. They're like a highly trained fire department racing through your bloodstream to extinguish every single inflammatory hotspot. But that's not all. Blueberries contain something called pterostilbene. Think of it as resveratrol's bigger, stronger brother. Laboratory studies show this compound can actually slow down the growth of problematic prostate cells. It's like having a cellular bouncer that refuses to let troublemakers into your prostate tissue. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and this might be the most important thing you learn today. These same blueberries contain quercetin, a natural compound that works like a molecular mechanic, literally repairing the cellular damage that leads to prostate dysfunction. I know what you're thinking. This sounds too good to be true, right? That's exactly what I thought. So I designed an experiment that would either prove or destroy this theory once and for all. My commitment was bulletproof simple. 1 cup of fresh blueberries every single morning for 30 days, consumed within 1 hour of waking up. No other changes, no supplements, no dietary modifications, just pure, consistent blueberry intervention. One tracked everything with scientific precision: sleep interruptions, daytime urgency, energy levels, and most importantly, I scheduled comprehensive blood work before and after. Week 1 felt like nothing was happening. I was enjoying my morning blueberries, feeling virtuous about starting my day with something healthy, but honestly, I was starting to think I'd been seduced by internet hype. The only change I noticed was slightly more consistent morning energy, but that could have been pure placebo effect. Then week 2 arrived, and everything changed. I woke up one morning and realized something extraordinary had happened. I'd slept through the night. Not just dozed between bathroom breaks, but actually slept 7 solid hours without interruption. At first, I thought it was a fluke, but it kept happening. Instead of the usual 3 nightly bathroom trips, I was down to 1, sometimes none at all. This is where the science gets really exciting. Those anthocyanins were essentially performing microscopic surgery on my inflamed prostate tissue, reducing the swelling that had been compressing my urethra like a vice grip. Think of it like releasing pressure from an overfilled balloon. Suddenly everything could flow naturally again. By week 3, the transformation was undeniable. My daytime energy wasn't just more consistent, it was dramatically more stable. Those afternoon crashes that had become my unwelcome companion, completely gone. But here's what really shocked me: that nagging sensation of incomplete bladder emptying, the feeling that had been my constant companion for months. It vanished, but nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for what happened when my blood work results came back. My PSA levels had dropped by 15%. Now, that might not sound earth-shattering to you, but in the world of prostate health, this represents a seismic shift. My doctor actually called me personally to discuss the results. Even more shocking, my C-reactive protein levels, that's the gold standard marker for systemic inflammation, had dropped into the optimal range for the first time in years. It was like those tiny blueberries had sent a cleanup crew throughout my entire body, extinguishing inflammatory fires I didn't even know were burning. My doctor's reaction: pure amazement. He emphasized that while we can't definitively prove causation, the improvements were precisely what medical research would predict from reduced prostate inflammation. Those anthocyanins had essentially performed a month-long healing intervention at the cellular level. Here's the part that might make you angry: this solution costs less than most people spend on coffee in a week. We're talking about roughly $3 worth of blueberries for 7 days of prostate protection. Compare that to the thousands of dollars men spend on treatments, procedures, and medications after the damage becomes irreversible. The research backing this up is absolutely solid. Multiple studies show that men consuming higher levels of anthocyanin-rich foods consistently maintain healthier prostate markers throughout their lives. These compounds create what researchers call a protective microenvironment, essentially turning your prostate tissue into hostile territory for inflammation and cellular dysfunction. But here's what excites me most about this discovery: accessibility. You don't need prescriptions, expensive procedures, or complicated protocols. Just 1 cup of blueberries every morning, consumed consistently, potentially creating a protective shield around one of your most vulnerable organs. If you're experiencing any prostate symptoms, the nighttime interruptions, daytime urgency, that uncomfortable feeling of incomplete emptying, or if you just want to be proactive about protecting your future self, this could be your game changer. Start with 1 cup every morning, track your results with the dedication of a scientist, and prepare to be amazed. Remember, we're not just talking about symptom management here. We're talking about potentially preventing the progression from minor inconvenience to life-altering medical intervention. Your future self, the one who sleeps peacefully through the night, who travels without bathroom anxiety, who maintains confidence in every situation, that person is counting on the decisions you make today. Sometimes the most powerful medicine comes disguised as something beautifully simple. Those tiny blue warriors might just be the prostate protection your body has been desperately waiting for. But hold on, if one fruit can create these results in 30 days, what happens when you combine 3 specific fruits that work together like a medical dream team? I've discovered a combination that doesn't just help your prostate, it literally destroys prostate problems in days, not weeks. The results are so dramatic that urologists are trying to keep this information quiet. Click the next video to see the proof.